The FBI says that he was part of a complicated for hire scheme that involved a shooting in the middle of the day at a Beverly Hills gas station in 2022. This actually resulted in the death of Savia Robinson, the cousin of Georgia rapper Quando Rondo, who prosecutors say was the actual intended target of this assassination.
Search is on for 3 people who police say shot at a Savannah rapper, a member of his entourage. It happened in Los Angeles and cameras captured the aftermath.
Lil Durk's fans have been anxiously waiting for any updates since his arrest, and now a leaked jail call featuring the rapper has gone viral. Being housed in one of Miami's most notorious jails, concerns for his safety have been rampant, especially with rumors swirling that he's being held in protective custody. The details of this call are nothing short of shocking and have added yet another layer of controversy to Durkio's case. Let's get into it. In a surprising turn of events, the hip-hop community is buzzing with the latest developments surrounding Lil Durk. An alleged jail call has surfaced, marking what is believed to be his first public statement since his arrest last month. The buzz started on November 15th, when an Instagram user with the handle at 900brew shared an audio clip featuring the OTF boss. The recording quickly gained traction online, with fans and media outlets dissecting every word of the 2-minute conversation. During the call, Lil Durk maintains a surprisingly positive outlook, despite his difficult circumstances. He reassures the caller, and by extension, his fans, that he's in good spirits and determined to return home to his family. In the clip, Durk also addresses one of the most persistent rumors floating around social media, claims that he's being held in protective custody. This leaked audio has ignited even more curiosity and debate surrounding his situation. Is this a glimpse of a rapper staying strong under pressure, or is there more to the story? Let's dive deeper into what this means for Durk and his case. In the audio, Lil Durk firmly denies the allegations that he is receiving special treatment in jail. He states clearly that he is not in protective custody, but is instead on the main line with other inmates. This declaration sparked mixed reactions from the public. While some applauded his resilience, others questioned the authenticity of the call, suspecting it might not be genuine. The Instagram post that shared the clip included a caption reading, "Just got off the phone with my brother Lil Durk. He in good spirit, staying positive, and fighting to get back home to his kids and family. We not glorifying negativity. We're more than just street guys." That's actually an understatement. We're men of honor and code, no matter our financial status. Bro hit the main line with the rest of our kind. No protective custody. The relationship between Lil Durk and the user behind the post remains somewhat unclear. However, the Instagram activity of the account suggests a strong tie to the OTF label. The page features collaborations with OTF artists like Bonnie Mo, as well as photos with Booker 600 and Lil Durk himself. These connections lend some credibility to the claim, but the lack of official confirmation has left fans and the public debating the legitimacy of the call. Interestingly, this isn't the first time someone has alleged they've been in contact with Lil Durk during his time behind bars. Recently, an artist dropped a track that featured a brief intro from the rapper, adding another layer of intrigue to the story. As the public continues to question the authenticity of these communications, one thing is clear: Lil Durk's presence is still making waves, even from behind bars. It's been alleged that Lil Durk spoke from behind bars in Hypno Carlito's latest track. On November 1st, Hypno Carlito shook the music world with the release of Where Smirk Go, a song that quickly gained attention for its sensational claim of featuring a phone call from Lil Durk, allegedly made from a federal correctional facility. This purported call is significant as it marks the first time Lil Durk's voice has been heard publicly since his arrest. In the song's intro, Durk can be heard expressing his unwavering loyalty to Hypno Carlito, saying, "Hypno Carlito, my mother, brother from another, forever legend. Offie and I take your asterisk streets over. You know what time it is. Rest in peace." While the track has garnered massive attention, it hasn't been without controversy. Critics have called the phone call fake, with some accusing Hypno Carlito of using AI to generate Durk's voice. Others have labeled him a clout chaser, questioning his motives for releasing the track during such a sensitive time. As more details about Durk's arrest emerge, the severity of his charges has become evident. The rapper faces allegations that could drastically impact the trajectory of his life and career. Despite the overwhelming circumstances, Durk appears determined to fight back. Reports indicate that he intends to plead not guilty, showing his fierce resolve to stand by his innocence. The stakes couldn't be higher. If convicted, Durk faces the possibility of spending the rest of his life behind bars, or even the death penalty. Yet his determination to defend himself reveals a resilience that his fans continue to rally behind, even as the case grows increasingly complex and the stakes escalate. If found guilty of the charges, Lil Durk could face life-altering consequences, but insider reports suggest he's maintaining good spirits. According to sources, Durk's only complaint so far has been about the food in jail. Interestingly, the same insiders have revealed that he's getting along well with the FDC Miami staff and his fellow inmates. Those familiar with the situation describe him as super charming and agreeable, traits that seem to be working in his favor during such a challenging time. However, staying positive might be Durkio's way of coping, considering the grim conditions at the facility where he's being held, one of the most notorious jails in the country. Reports of abuse, neglect, and violence have painted a chilling picture of life inside. One high-profile case involved Freddie Lee Jones, a 38-year-old black inmate who was allegedly beaten by deputies while in solitary confinement. Arrested on a misdemeanor count of criminal mischief, Jones reportedly endured 2 days without food before the incident. His case sparked outrage and shed light on the mistreatment occurring within the jail. Another tragic story is that of Herbie Kressel, a white inmate known as a beggar and addict, who was housed in a section meant for those with mental health issues. Kressel allegedly committed suicide while under the supervision of jail staff. His death highlighted the system's failure to provide adequate care for vulnerable inmates. Adding to the list of horrors, Joseph Williams, a 26-year-old inmate with a history of mental illness, also died in custody under suspicious circumstances. These cases underscore the brutal realities of the jail's conditions, raising concerns about the safety and well-being of all those held within its walls, including Durk. As the rapper navigates his legal battles, the spotlight is also being cast on the controversial facility housing him, further intensifying public interest in the case. Joseph Williams' death was another tragic chapter in the facility's dark history. Arrested for an attempted purse snatching, Williams struggled with severe mental health issues, a fact his mother repeatedly emphasized to jail staff. Despite her pleas for proper care, her concerns were ignored. Williams tragically died shortly after she began advocating for his treatment, adding to the growing list of suspicious deaths linked to the jail. But brutal deputies and questionable fatalities aren't the only threats looming over Lil Durk. Drugs, which often make their way into the jail, pose an additional risk. As the head of OTF, Durkio has been open about his struggles with addiction. Earlier this year, the rapper revealed that he had voluntarily checked into rehab to confront his dependency on substances like codeine and Xanax. Durk had expressed his desire to overcome his addiction, aiming to become a better father and a stronger leader for his crew. However, with reports of narcotics like fentanyl infiltrating the jail, his hard-fought progress could be at risk. In July of this year, an inmate at the facility died from a fentanyl overdose, highlighting the rampant drug issues within the system. Fortunately, recent news confirmed that Durk was being transferred to a jail in Los Angeles, a move that could provide a glimmer of hope. However, public sentiment toward the OTF boss remains divided. Many struggle to feel sympathy for someone who has been entangled in criminal activity for so long. From robberies to attempted murders, and now facing allegations of actual murder, Durkio's life has been a chaotic roller coaster. The tangled history of OTF's alleged crimes only adds another layer of intrigue to his ongoing legal battles, leaving many to wonder how this latest chapter will unfold. The head of OTF, Lil Durk, was no stranger to jail long before his rise to fame as a successful rapper. His brushes with the law date back to 2011, when he was arrested on a weapons charge. As it was his first offense, Durk was sentenced to 3 months in prison. However, this stint didn't deter him from the streets, as just 2 years later, he was arrested again, this time for armed robbery and unlawful use of a weapon by a felon. In that case, Durk pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 18 months of probation, But trouble found him once more during this probation period when police allegedly caught him in possession of 2 guns. This led to yet another weapons-related charge. Fortunately for Durk, the case was eventually dismissed after a judge ruled that he wasn't in possession or control of the firearms, meaning his probation hadn't been violated. Fast forward 2019, and Lil Durk found himself embroiled in one of his most dramatic legal battles to date. The Chicago rapper was taken into custody after Atlanta police issued an arrest warrant for him on May 29, 2019. The charges were severe, including 5 felony counts: criminal attempt to commit murder, aggravated assault, unlawful association with a criminal street gang to conduct or participate in crime, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. At the time, Durk was on tour, but he canceled all his scheduled performances and headed straight to Atlanta. Demonstrating a strategic approach to his legal troubles, he immediately dropped a track titled "Turn Myself In," signaling his intentions to take control of the narrative. The following day, Durk granted an exclusive interview to WSB-TV from his lawyer's office, further attempting to present his side of the story before public speculation could take hold. This history of legal battles paints a vivid picture of the struggles Durk has faced, both in the streets and in the courtroom, as his rise to fame continues to be marked by controversy. In the interview, Lil Durk revealed that he planned to surrender to authorities later that day. According to him, he had nothing to hide and nothing to run from. He maintained his innocence, denying all 5 charges leveled against him. True to his word, Durk surrendered himself to authorities at the Fulton County Jail that same day. Years later, the case took a surprising turn. In late October 2022, all charges against Durk were dropped due to insufficient evidence, marking a significant victory in his ongoing legal battles. However, life hasn't been any easier for others in his OTF circle. Many of them have faced their own run-ins with the law. One prominent example is Just Blow 600, a rising star in the Chicago drill scene whose ties to street life ultimately derailed his career. Just Blow 600 is now facing nearly 2 decades behind bars. On Halloween night in 2017, a series of events unfolded that would drastically alter the course of his life. Alongside 2 associates, Paradise Haynes and Lucky R. Tyler, Just Blow 600 was allegedly involved in a plan to rob 19-year-old Khalil Carter in Hammond, Indiana. What began as a robbery quickly escalated into chaos. A shootout erupted during the attempted robbery, resulting in the tragic death of Carter. In the crossfire, Carter's cousin sustained injuries, as did Just Blow 600 himself. The violent incident left a trail of devastation and led to serious legal consequences for everyone involved. This case underscores the struggles faced by many in OTF, highlighting the fine line between rising fame and the harsh realities of street life. For some, the lure of success wasn't enough to escape the shadows of the past, leaving their futures hanging in the balance. Law enforcement agencies launched a thorough investigation into the events of that chaotic Halloween night, piecing together what led to the tragic death of Khalil Carter. Court documents later identified Just Blow 600 as the alleged triggerman, accusing him of shooting Carter with an assault rifle. Despite the gravity of the charges, the OTF rapper consistently maintained his innocence. In a bold move, Just Blow 600 took to social media to assert his stance, writing, "They trying to build cases off lies and snitches. I'ma stay 10 toes down." However, his case became more complicated when one of his co-defendants, Paradise Haynes, pleaded guilty to 1 count of robbery resulting in bodily injury. Meanwhile, Just Blow 600 and Tyler faced an even more severe list of charges: 1 count of murder, 1 count of murder in perpetration of a robbery, 2 counts of robbery, 1 count of aggravated battery, and 2 counts of criminal confinement. These charges carried potential sentences of 45 to 65 years in prison. In August 2023, Just Blow 600 was sentenced to 18 years in prison, marking a devastating chapter in his life and career. But he's not the only OTF member to have his life derailed by crime. Another associate of Lil Durk's, OTF Boona, also faced legal trouble, though his case played out very differently. OTF Boona's story is wild and, in some ways, oddly fortunate. The man was sentenced to 8 years for serious charges but ended up serving only 15 months in jail. Known for his unwavering loyalty, Boona has often been described as Lil Durk's mud brother. Boona, whose real name is Michael L. Golden, is also rumored to act as Durk's muscle. Earlier this year, a viral video captured Boona stepping in to protect Durk during a festival performance when an overly enthusiastic fan got too close to the rapper. This incident further cemented Boona's reputation as one of Durk's most loyal and dependable allies. Being close to Lil Durk didn't keep OTF Boona out of trouble. His life took a dramatic turn in March 2021 when he became embroiled in a violent incident at Cumberland Mall in Atlanta, Georgia. Boona was detained and charged with 4 felony counts of aggravated assault with intent to murder after a chaotic shooting in the mall's parking lot. The incident unfolded when Boona allegedly exited an SUV and opened fire on another vehicle. The exchange of gunfire turned the scene into chaos, leaving 4 individuals injured, including a 6-year-old boy struck by a stray bullet. Miraculously, all the victims survived their injuries, but the severity of the situation made national headlines. Boona's connection to the crime was established when he dropped his phone at the scene, a critical error that allowed law enforcement to obtain a search warrant. Through his phone, investigators discovered social media activity linking him to the shooting. Alongside Boona, 3 other individuals, Karanji Reese, Jacava Harris, and Dasan Powell, were arrested and faced charges related to weapons and drugs. While this case unfolded, Boona's legal troubles extended beyond the Atlanta shooting. In August 2022, he was sentenced to 8 years in prison for a separate case in Illinois, where he was charged with possession of a firearm by a felon. For most, such serious charges would mean significant time behind bars. However, Boona's story takes a surprising twist. Despite facing 2 high-profile cases, he was released in November 2023, having served only 15 months in jail. The outcome shocked many, with critics questioning how such leniency could be granted given the gravity of the charges. Boona's tale is yet another example of the complexities surrounding OTF's members, whose lives often blur the lines between loyalty, ambition, and the streets. For Boona, freedom comes with both controversy and a cloud of lingering questions about what comes next. Did Boona snitch to secure his release? That's a question we might never get a clear answer to. Meanwhile, another OTF member whose once promising future has been derailed is Rondo Number 9. A key figure in OTF's roster, Rondo played a significant role in putting the crew on the map. In 2013, he dropped a music video for his breakout hit, Hang With Me, which quickly gained traction and showcased his raw talent. Despite his rising music career, Rondo Number 9 couldn't leave the streets behind. On February 22nd, 2014, a tragic shooting would change his life forever. That night, jitney cab driver Javon Boyd was waiting in his car for a passenger in the Wentworth Gardens neighborhood of Chicago. Boyd, simply doing his job, had no idea that a group of young men, including Rondo Number 9 and fellow rapper C-Day, was approaching his vehicle. The motives behind their actions remain unclear, but what happened next would alter countless lives. As the group neared Boyd's car, they reportedly asked if he was from the neighborhood. Then, without warning, gunfire erupted. Multiple rounds were fired into the vehicle from the passenger side. Boyd, a 29-year-old man trying to make an honest living, was struck by several bullets. He was rushed to the hospital in critical condition, but tragically, he succumbed to his injuries 2 hours later. His senseless death sent shockwaves through the community and drew significant attention to the case. The investigation moved swiftly. Surveillance footage from the Chicago Housing Authority captured the entire incident, providing crucial evidence to law enforcement. Additionally, eyewitnesses came forward, identifying Rondo Number 9 as one of the individuals at the scene. This devastating moment not only shattered the Boyd family, but also marked the beginning of the end for Rondo's burgeoning music career. His connection to the murder would soon lead to severe consequences, forever altering his life and the perception of OTF. The evidence against Rondo Number 9 continued to build, placing the young rapper at the center of a high-profile investigation. At just 17 years old, Rondo faced a first-degree murder charge that carried life-altering consequences. His arrest marked a significant turning point in the case, cementing his fall from rising star to accused felon. After a lengthy and contentious trial, the verdict was delivered. Rondo Number 9 was found guilty of first-degree murder, a decision that sealed his fate. On July 5th, 2016, the rapper was sentenced to 39 years in prison, effectively ending his music career and altering the course of his life. But not all OTF associates have found themselves living behind bars. Some have escaped this grim reality, even after facing shocking accusations and significant legal battles. One of the most notable examples is Duty Low, who became embroiled in a scandal that shook the hip-hop community to its core. In October 2021, OTF rapper Duty Low, whose real name is David Salisbury, faced deeply disturbing allegations from his ex-girlfriend, FTN-BAE. The controversy erupted when FTN-BAE accused Duty Low of defiling her 5-year-old son. She took to social media to share her claims, posting an audio clip on Instagram that allegedly captured her son crying and describing the incident. In the recording, the child claimed he had been harmed with 3 screws, a detail that horrified listeners and escalated the allegations. FTN-BAE further asserted that the injuries were so severe that her son had to revert to wearing diapers due to his inability to control his bowels. The accusations sent shockwaves through the hip-hop world, sparking outrage, debates, and intense scrutiny of Duty Low. While his case would go on to take unexpected turns, it remains one of the most controversial chapters in OTF's history, highlighting the precarious balance between loyalty, personal choices, and public perception. However, Duty Low maintained his innocence from the very beginning, vehemently denying the accusations and insisting he was being falsely accused. Taking to social media, he asserted that the allegations were baseless and vowed to fight to clear his name. Amid the public uproar, Duty Low's legal team began compiling evidence to refute the claims, determined to restore his reputation. They argued that FTN-BAE had fabricated the allegations out of spite following their breakup and accused her of harassing Duty Low and his family for weeks. The case took a dramatic turn when Duty Low released a video that he claimed showed FTN-BAE grooming her son to make false accusations. In the video, FTN-BAE can allegedly be heard instructing her son not to blame the incident on Alex, a 3-year-old boy, casting doubt on the credibility of her claims. This revelation added a layer of complexity to the case, as many began to question the truth behind the accusations. Despite the mounting evidence in his favor, the damage to Duty Low's reputation had already been done. The allegations had deeply impacted both his personal and professional life, leading him to take decisive legal action. In December 2021, Duty Low filed a $5 million lawsuit against FTN-BAE, accusing her of defamation, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and causing irreparable harm to his reputation. In the lawsuit, Duty Low's legal team presented further evidence, claiming that FTN-BAE had told him it was actually Alex who had inserted the screws into her son's anus. This admission, if proven true, further undermined her accusations and strengthened Duty Low's case against her. While the lawsuit marked a bold move to clear his name, the ordeal remains one of the most polarizing controversies in hip-hop, illustrating the devastating impact of public allegations, even when evidence points toward innocence. Duty Low reportedly encouraged FTN-BAE to take her son to the hospital for an examination. However, doctors found nothing wrong with the child. This critical detail became a cornerstone of Duty Low's defense, with his attorneys arguing that FTN-BAE had fabricated the allegations out of spite following their breakup. They emphasized the significant harm her actions caused to his personal and professional life. As the case gained momentum, a shocking twist occurred in January 2022. FTN-BAE publicly apologized to Duty Low in a tearful video, a move that caught many by surprise. In the video, she revealed that Duty Low had taken and passed a lie detector test, leading her to retract her previous statements. She expressed regret, claiming she never intended to ruin his career and that she genuinely believed she was protecting her child. However, this apology was short-lived. Just days later, FTN-BAE recanted her statement, alleging she had been manipulated and threatened into making the video. Despite her reversal, the legal battle continued, and in February 2023, the Broward County, Florida court ruled in favor of Duty Low. The court awarded him $11 million in his defamation lawsuit against FTN-BAE, solidifying his claims of innocence. Further vindicating Duty Low, FTN-BAE was arrested for perjury, adding another twist to the already dramatic case. While this outcome marked a significant victory for the rapper, it also highlighted the chaos and reputational risks faced by OTF members, who often find themselves in and out of courtrooms. Amid the turmoil surrounding his crew, Lil Durk had been trying to steer his life in a new direction. He renounced his gang ties and began focusing on using his wealth to create positive changes. Despite the challenges, Durk's efforts stand in stark contrast to the turbulence that has followed many of his associates. In Chicago, Lil Durk officially renounced the gang life, signaling a major shift in his personal and professional journey. For many fans, it seemed like Durkio was truly leaving his troubled past behind. After turning to Islam and even completing rehab to address personal struggles, the rapper made it clear he was focused on transformation. Taking to social media, Lil Durk announced his fresh start with heartfelt words. "Everybody should get second chances at life. It's about what you do with it. Alhamdulillah, my background wiped and clean of all cases. I ain't a felon anymore. Who would have thought? I want to thank everyone who helped push my vision forward. Thank you from the bottom of my heart." For fans, this declaration marked a turning point. Durk's felony cases had been cleared, and he seemed determined to make the most of this opportunity to redefine his legacy. But this wasn't the only time Durk publicly affirmed his new path. On August 18, 2024, Lil Durk made a powerful statement that reverberated throughout the music industry and beyond. In a deeply personal Instagram post, he reaffirmed his Muslim faith and denounced his past involvement in gang activity. His post read, "Don't label me nothing outside of a man, a father, and a 1000% Muslim." He followed up with another post that further clarified his stance. "I don't gangbang, I'm a Muslim." Basically, what I was saying on my post in so many words, you can't do both. I'm gonna be the one who says it. So if you follow me as a brother, a friend, an icon, follow me to my new chapter of life. Durk also took a moment to address the content of his music, stating, "When I make music or rap, it's about what I've seen and been through, not telling you to go do it." With these public declarations, Lil Durk solidified his commitment to a new chapter of life, inspiring fans while setting a clear boundary between his past and the future he envisions for himself. "Huge difference. The music won't change, but my life goals will." With these words, Lil Durk signaled a transformative shift in his priorities. He wasn't just talking, he was taking action. In 2020, Durkio made a monumental step by founding the Neighborhood Heroes Foundation, a nonprofit organization dedicated to uplifting everyday heroes and driving positive change within underserved communities. The foundation stemmed from Durk's vision of providing resource and support to those often overlooked. One of its most groundbreaking initiatives came when Durk announced he would donate a portion of his music royalties to fund philanthropic efforts. The move shook the music industry, particularly when Durk revealed that royalties from his track Bedtime would directly benefit the Neighborhood Heroes Foundation. But he didn't stop there. In collaboration with Amazon Music, Durk launched the Durk Banks Endowment Fund, a college tuition program aimed at helping Chicago youth pursue higher education at Howard University. This partnership included a remarkable $250,000 donation to Howard's financial aid program, the Grace Grant, providing vital assistance to students in need. The fund also awarded scholarships to students who participated in the Neighborhood Heroes HBCU College and Career Readiness Cohort program. This initiative furthered Durk's mission to empower the next generation by making education accessible to those who needed it most. Durk's efforts didn't go unnoticed. Just weeks before his arrest, he was honored near his hometown for his impactful work with the Neighborhood Heroes Foundation. The recognition underscored how far he had come, not just as an artist, but as a community leader, striving to make a lasting difference. With these initiatives, Durk demonstrated that his commitment to change wasn't just talk, His focus on education, empowerment, and giving back to his community serves as a powerful reminder that transformation is possible, even in the face of immense challenges. As an active advocate for change in Chicago, Lil Durk's efforts didn't go unnoticed. Cook County, Illinois, recognized his work in the community by awarding him multiple keys to the city, including from the villages of Broadview and Bellwood. These honors highlighted Durk's dedication to uplifting local communities through his Neighborhood Heroes Foundation. Mayor Katrina Thompson even shared her enthusiasm in a Facebook post, announcing that Durk had signed a partnership agreement with his foundation to collaborate with students in both Broadview and Bellwood. The initiative aimed to support sustainability projects and further the positive impact of his work in these neighborhoods. However, despite the significant strides Durk made to better his life and community, the recognition was short-lived. The very people who had awarded him the keys to the city soon decided to revoke them. Mayor Thompson once again took to Facebook, this time to announce the village of Broadview's decision to take back the key. Her post read, "While the American system of justice grants everyone the presumption of innocence until proven guilty in a court of law, the village of Broadview, the court of public opinion of residents, has even higher moral and ethical standards of behavior. Our public partners must also reflect the same uncompromising standards demanded by our residents." This decision marked a sharp reversal, showing how quickly public perception can shift, even for someone who has made meaningful efforts to leave their past behind. For Durk, the setback highlights the ongoing challenges of rebuilding trust and credibility in a world that often holds public figures to impossibly high standards. Given the news that Lil Durk has been arrested in Florida and charged with murder for hire, the village of Broadview is withdrawing our honorary key to the village granted to Durk and is terminating our partnership agreement with his youth organization, Neighborhood Heroes Foundation, Mayor Katrina Thompson announced. She continued, "As mayor, protecting Broadview's interests and upholding the values of our residents is job number one." Fans quickly accused the mayor of throwing Durk under the bus, arguing that her statement seemed to confirm his guilt before he even had his day in court. Critics speculated that the decision was more about protecting her own public image than upholding community values. The timing of the announcement left many questioning whether it was a calculated move to distance the village from the rapper amid his legal troubles. For Durk, this development adds another layer of complexity to an already challenging situation. Will he manage to bounce back from this latest controversy and prove his critics wrong? Or is this the beginning of the end for his career and reputation? Only time will tell. If you enjoyed this video and want more content like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Check out the boxes on your screen for more deep dives, and we'll see you in the next one.